So, what stopped me from attaining more? Why haven't I gone for what I know to be right? Truthfully, I don't know. But what I do know is this: it changes today. I was up to 2 a.m. yesterday, running some numbers, running some simulations to see what happens if I stay, what happens if I leave, what happens if I do nothing. And based on those current probabilities, I have around a 5% chance if I stay, do nothing, and hope. I have a 5% chance of my salary going to 70K, if that. Because I'm usually one mess up away from probably this whole thing blowing up in my face. Because I really have a bomb in my hand. I've self-appointed myself to be in certain positions. No problem there. But I have to realize where I'm at. I'm in the middle of nowhere. And that puts a little bit of a buffer. See, if I was in a big city and I could say, hey, I'm going to jump to New York City, make it happen. I'm about 2.5 hours from the city. That puts me at a disadvantage. So, I'm not really supposed to know what the left hand is doing to the right hand. But what I can say is this. I know the reason I stopped doing what I did is because I got in my head. It's because I started to give a flying fuck. Pardon my French. The more fucks I gave, the less I did what I was supposed to do. The less fucks I gave, the more I did what was good for me. And that's what we're going to go back to. We're going to go back to doing what's best for us. That does mean you have to make sacrifices. That does mean regrouping, and starting again. But this time, you don't start at zero. See, because what happens when you start over? In the beginning, you start over. But after you build skills and a little bit of assets, you start with equity. You begin the next game. When you pass go, you start again with $200. So you have a little bit more. You're not losing everything. You're truly setting yourself up for a comeback. But you need to, if there's anything you're gonna do, is you need to see where you are, run some statistics to see what happens if you do nothing. And those statistics will guide you to telling you what you should be doing. See, because it doesn't matter what some stranger on YouTube says. But what does matter is that a stranger on YouTube is telling you, go crunch the numbers. Spend 30 minutes. Run through your life. And if it turns out that the life you're living, if the only way that it can continue to run is by, like, nothing can go wrong, you, my friend, are in a losing battle. You're in a losing battle. As Andrew Tate would say, sometimes the best move is a Hail Mary. Because sometimes you draw the game out so far out that you lose all your dignity, all your self-respect, almost everything in the process, because every time you make a mistake, we have this trap that we're going to double down, triple down, prove ourselves, always be on the back foot, but never really get what we want. Hey, I'm just some stranger on the internet, but I'm making changes to my life in a way that is actually sound. It's not like I'm guessing. Sure, they're hypotheses, but at a certain point, when you arrive at a conclusion, don't paint it green. See it for what it is. Be strategically smart about how you're going to get yourself out of it. And sometimes regrouping. Starting again. Saying, hey, look, this is nice. If you can make money on the sell, make money on the sell. If you can rent it out, rent it out. Dude, I ran the numbers on renting it out. It's almost scarier than keeping the house and then selling the house, because you need You don't need, but you would like 3 to 6 months in reserve, because if there's any vacancy, you're smoked. Because one vacancy will wipe out your entire 1 month, 2 month, 3 months of vacancy will wipe out your entire profits for the year, because you have a burn rate. The biggest thing you have to remember is you guys have a burn rate. And for your life to continue as it is, let me put it over here. And for your life to continue as it is, the burn rate in which you're burning cash daily, weekly, monthly doesn't really go away. But if the certainty for your job disappears tomorrow, you must be planning for that today. You should have been planning for it the day before, but you have to plan for it now. Especially if you have two incomes in one house supplying for the house. I've been making sure I'm well read and well versed on my decision making, but the truth is, I don't like the decision I have to make, but it is truly what's best for me, for my family, for my wife, because we get to regroup, get a little income, build a little bit of certainty, and decide, like we decided to come up here, buy a farmhouse for whatever reason, and make some money on it. It was a test. It wasn't permanent. And if you guys are in this position where you need something to work out, and the only way it works out, nothing goes wrong, you guys are deceiving yourselves. Take the time, analyze where you are, run some probabilities using game theory and the Monte Carlo simulator, is what my boy just told me yesterday. And let the numbers do the talking. You explain it, the situation. If the situation is ugly, you see it for what it is. You don't say, I'm one talk away. I'm going to go talk to the guy. Go talk to my manager. Screw that. While you're planning your escape, you cannot let the prison guards know you're planning. That's stupid. Because what will happen is they may have it in their idea that once this guy wises up, they may let you go before you're ready. I don't think that's my situation, but I need to be aware that wherever you work has their best interests at heart. When you're thinking about starting over and doing whatever you got to do, that's not in the best interest for the business that you're working at. That's in the opposite. That's in your interest, which does not, that actually negatively affects the system, because you're a piece. You're a cog. It is what it is. We're cogs in everything. But you have to remember that it's better to be a piece on your board than a cog in their system. Because if they get word of you trying to get out, they will snuff you out. Either with incentives, but just remember, do not let authority or responsibility cloud your judgment. Because authority and responsibility without compensation is manipulation. Bye-bye.